Hi everybody, welcome to another video. This episode we are doing a deck profile for the new Souten archetype coming out in Phantom Rage. This archetype is a warrior based archetype that has a fusion extra deck and has a lot of spells and trap support for it, but only two main deck monsters that we are aware of. Overall the support is really cool. I like the concept of it. It's one of the reasons why I wanted to get back in the deck building and stuff like that, because Konami seems to be wanting to do this whole new push for new and interesting archetypes, which I really like. But with that said, guys, if you like my content, please give a like and subscribe. And with that, guys, let's get into the deck profile. So we have three of the new Yuhi of the Souten Fists. There's been a bit of a mistranslation. A lot of the cards will say UB, but in actuality, it's Yuhi of the Souten Fists. So you can target a Souten monster you control, destroy it, add a spell. And then if a face-up Souten fusion monster you control that was fusion summoned using an effect monster's material is destroyed by an opponent's card effect or battle, you can add this card from your graveyard to your hand. You can use each effect once per turn. Yeah, we have three elemental hero Prisma. Because you're running such a lack of main deck monsters, Prisma sort of helps you keep your deck alive and allow you to at least get Yuhi in the graveyard, because out of all the fusion monsters they're all very generic apart from the boss monster, which states Yuhi as one of its fusion materials. So really you're only able to use Yuhi as the thing, so once you've used all your three up you're going to struggle. Prisma but essentially becomes a dead card. We then have Kukuku of the Souten Kicks. This is the other main deck monster, and if a face-up Souten fusion monster you control is destroyed by battle a card effect except itself, you can special summon this card from your hand. Then destroy a Souten monster you control, and if you do, special summon one Souten fusion monster from your extra deck. None of the monsters in the extra deck that are Souten have the clause that they have to be fusion summoned, so you're able to get anything from the very big boss monster to the very small monsters, which is really cool and interesting. So you're able to hit them with a big body on the board if needs be. Fusion deployment, same as Prisma, because Yuhi is the only mentioned card in the fusion materials in the monsters. You're only really going to be using this for Yuhi, but Yuhi is one of the main cards you want to get out. Coco is good, but Yuhi is just a much better card, and the fact that it's mentioned in the fusion material allows for so much more combo potential and stuff like that. We then run a lot of one-offs. Regeki, Reinforcement of the Army, one day piece, Upstart Goblin, Terraforming, and Monster Board. This is mainly for the combo potential and the added draw power that you'll need for the deck. I feel like we're missing maybe one or two cards that they haven't announced yet. So keep that in mind. This might be all the support. If that's the case, then you'll probably will need these cards to help with the consistency of the deck a wee bit. 3 Souten Calling. This is the fusion spell of the deck. So you can discard a card, special summon up to 5 tokens essentially onto your side of the board, and then apply this effect twice. Fusion summon a Souten fusion monster using monsters from your hand and field, and then for the rest of this turn you're locked into fusion monsters and you cannot tribute the tokens you control. Also, they are destroyed during the end phase. The fact this can be done twice means you're able to get 2 of your Souten monsters out, and the way the Souten fusion monsters work with each other is really important as well, which is why they need 2 of them, but I'll show that a bit later on. We then run 3 Call by the Grave for the hand trap disruption. 3 of the new Souten Exorcism, so you can target a Souten monster you control and a card your opponent controls, destroy both of them, and then if it was a Souten fusion monster you controlled that was destroyed, you can apply an effect, draw a card, or banish a card from an opponent's graveyard. You're more likely going to use this for the draw card more than anything else. The banish from the graveyard is more situational. I think it only really applies for certain decks that maybe have a bit more focus on the graveyard. Maybe there's an outlet Golden Lord in the graveyard, it's about to activate its effect and you kind of need to get rid of it quickly. This card will really come in handy for that. 3 Supply Squad, because you're doing a lot of self-destroying, having these out on the board allows you to essentially draw and keep your hand filled. Plus as well, if your opponent destroys your monsters as well, you're also essentially replacing the cards, which is really good. I would say, if anything, this is the one card you probably will cut first if they do a better draw card or a better way of recycling cards or searching for cards and stuff like that. That or a lot of your one-offs, but overall it's still a very good solid card. 3 Choose 1, the field spell. Essentially it's a rota for the deck, and as well as that, if you control a Souten effect monster, you can get a Souten spirit token, but you're also locked in the fusion monsters for the rest of the turn. 1 Metaverse, the search out the field spell as well. 3 Souten Returns, monster reborn, but if the monster you reborn that's a Souten is level 4 or lower, special summon a spirit token, so essentially helps with the combos and stuff like that. And then 3 Souten's Duty, so during any main phase you can banish a spell and trap and it becomes that effect. Overall, it's really good. Allows you to, when you combine it with Exorcism, possibly pop 2 cards, draw 2 cards. You can combine it with the Monster Reborn, special summon monsters twice, or you can use it with the fusion spell to fusion summon monsters during your opponent's turn, which can also come in handy. Bear in mind, the field spell is not a Souten card, so you'll not be able to use it like for as a Rhoda or anything like that. But with that, guys, we're moving on to the extra deck. So we're going to run 3 of the new boss monster. Kungo, Heavenly General of the Souten, requires Yuhi and 2 Souten monsters. So if it battles, your opponent can activate cards or effects. So it's a Utopia Lightning during the damage step. After damage calculation, if it attacked, you can return a monster your opponent controls to hand. And when your opponent activates a spell or trap card or effect that targets this card on the field, while you control 2 or more fusion monsters, you can negate the activation. Solid card. The only thing I don't like about it is the fact that it requires a spell or trap card to target it. If this had been when your opponent activates an effect that targets this card and negate the activation, I think it would have been far, far better as a boss monster. And the fact that only spell and traps it can negate that target it, and the fact there's so few of them in the metagame and just the game in general that is played in a lot of decks is kind of a bit disappointing. I wish it was a lot better. But had this had the effect of any effect, I would have definitely have said it was definitely a really worthwhile card. 3 Gaia of the Souten Fists. If it's special summons, you can target an attack position monster your opponent controls and destroy it. Also, it cannot attack directly for the rest of this turn. You can only use the effect once per turn. And then while you control a Souten fusion monster that was fusion summoned using an effect monster material, all your fusion monsters gain 300 attack effects. You'll notice this with this and the next fusion monster, they require an effect monster to get their secondary effects. While the fusion spell, while they don't require specific monsters to do it, you can use the tokens for the fusion spell. You will more than likely want at least Kukuku to use these as the fusion summon, and then use Yuhi for the big boss monster, because then essentially you've got these big boss monsters that can be that get stronger essentially and can do a lot of different things. But the next one we have is Gayoon of the Souten Kicks. If a fusion monster or Souten fusion monster controlled by destroyed by a card effect, you can destroy another Souten monster you control instead. During the main phase, if you control a Souten fusion monster that was fusion summon using an effect monster as material, quick effect, target a monster that your opponent controls that was special, or target a face-up monster that was special summoned from the extra deck, negates effects until the end of the turn. You can only use each effect once per turn. You will notice as well the way it's worded is if you control a monster that was fusion summoned using an effect monster as material, it doesn't have to be another monster. It can be that monster itself, and it will still get its effect. So just keep that in mind, guys. It doesn't have to be another monster. It just has to be the monster. It can even be the monster itself that wants to use the effect. We then have a generic link package, Topologic Bomber, Dragon Nightmare package, and then a Clothy. So that's the deck profile, guys. I'm just going to do a wee quick discussion on it now. I really like this archetype. It has a lot of potential to really push itself to be at least a good solid deck. Right now, it's hard to say if it's going to be good or not with the support it has. Like I says, if we get another card or 2 cards that really help with the deck, I think it will have that ability to at least become a rogue option and maybe be like a control deck or something like that. But as it stands at the minute, it kind of struggles to get itself established. You can brick very easily with this deck if you don't open some of the key cards in it. If you don't open the field spell or the fusion spell, and you have no way, if your opponent has a way of interrupting you, you will essentially be stuck for the turn, and that is a major issue with the deck. But like I said, the deck has a lot of potential. If it gets another card that helps with like recurring resources or has a way of negating effects, like counter trap or something like that, I do think the deck has a good shot of being a very good deck in terms of meta relevance and stuff like that. But that's just my thoughts on it. Overall, I would say that people keep a very close eye on this deck. I do believe that even if so, it'll be a good, fun, casual option for people. I sort of hope, though, it's not really heavily high rarity printed. It seems to be recently Konami has had this habit of new archetypes getting very heavily printed in the high rarity, and then it's hard for people to get the pieces that they need for it. As well as that, with the recent issue with short printing, was another worry of mine. But the fact that it's in a main set, I don't think that'll be an issue. But it'll still, if it's high rarity, will be hard to get a hold of. But overall, definitely worth a look at if you're into this type of, if you're into fusion summoning, if you're into like warriors and martial arts and stuff like that. This is definitely one I think you should definitely pick up and have a look at least give it a try anyway, and see what your thoughts and feelings on it are. But that's the deck profile, guys. Next up is the replays. Please give a like and subscribe if you like my content. Please follow me on social media. All the links are down below. I have Facebook, Twitter, and stuff like that. I will start posting more different things that aren't just the videos on there eventually, polls, things like that. So keep a wee eye out for it. I am going to post up a schedule of what I'm doing deck profile wise, hopefully in the next couple of days, to sort of showcase what I'll be hopefully uploading. You'll need to check that over on the social media. I'll not be doing a video on it. It'll be on Facebook, Twitter, and stuff like that. So keep an eye out for that there. And that's it, guys. And I'll hopefully see you guys in the next video.